What's up, guys? YGO Strats coming at you with Kozmo discussion. This is a very hype deck for me. I've got a friend who's also building a version of his own, and so we're both like, I'm gonna play that archetype, screw you, it's gonna be my deck. So we've got like direct competition to make the deck for ourselves. So not only am I hyped for it because it looks good, but I'm hyped for it because it's another competition, and that's what Yu-Gi-Oh is. So it's just, extra incentive. So I'm super pumped for this deck. You're looking at my current profile. It's probably going to change by the time I make like a next video type thing, because it's going through the phases, working out the kinks and all that nonsense. So if you want to hear this profile's explanation and what it's about, you can go to this annotation right here, or in the description. I will leave a link to that video for your viewing pleasures. And yeah, don't, if you want to comment on that, go ahead, comment there. Don't insult my ability to play Yu-Gi-Oh! In this video. Insult it in that one. I'm just going to be talking about, I guess, my ability to play. You can insult my ability to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Here if you really want to. Like, if you feel like I'm talking like a fucking moron, go right ahead. It is a free internet, and you can do as you please. But without any more wasting of time to a minute into this, fuck that nonsense. Right to what my thoughts are. The big thing is it's an OTK central deck. And I mean OTK central. You can use Farm Girl's effect to attack directly, tag out into Good Witch, then tag out into Forerunner, and that's a lot of damage. I think it's 61, I'm not doing the math, fuck that. And it's like different plays, like you can Farm Girl into Good Witch into Slip Rider to pop a spell or trap, or depending on what we get, do another effect. I can kind of see them giving this like a carrier helix effect where the level 6 might bounce a monster or something stupid. I hope they do that, and I also really hope they don't do that. But we'll see where it all goes. I can pretty much promise you the level 4 and lowers are going to be psychics, and the 5 and highers are going to be machines. That's what they've laid out for us. That's probably the pattern they're going to follow. A few things that I've noted. The tag out effects are once per turn, and you might be like, well, that's fucking obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people are like, well, I could use Good Witch and then tag out into this, and then use Farm Girl and search this and summon that, and tag Good Witch again, and then just do. And it's like, well, no, you're getting one tag out per turn here, man. Don't fall for that. Don't be cheating like a motherfucker. Like, just read the cards. It's hard enough to do, but it's something that we should all do. Sometimes I'm bad for it. I won't lie. It ain't a perfect world, and I ain't a perfect person, but just read your cards, make sure you've got a good understanding of them. The tagouts are once per turn, the other effects, aren't if they say they aren't. Like, the Farm Girl searching effect is unlimited. If you can make this card attack 6 times, you can pay 500 life points each time and fucking search 6 cards. If, like, somehow you do that. So, that's good to know. Like, you can search 2 or 3 times off of 2 or 3 different Farm Girls. But, Good Witch has a once per turn clause on her Book of Moon effect, so she's a once per turn both. Like, you can only flip a monster face down once per turn, but multiple searches, and then the Slip Rider and Forerunner are both multiple time. Like, you can have 3 Slip Riders, they get Regeki'd, and you can pull out 3 Good Witches. Like, it's technically a possibility, so that's the big thing to note there. In terms of what we're going to be getting, I suspect... first off, you got to take a look at the origin of these cards being the Wizard of Oz and what we've got so far. Namely, we've gotten Good Witch is the Good Witch of the North, I believe it is. Farm Girl is Dorothy. Slip Rider is the Red Slippers. If you didn't catch on to that, you can see it's kind of like a heel there. That's your Red Slippers. I don't remember what she says when she taps them 3 times, but that's what that is. And Forerunner is clearly the Millennium Falcon because Star Wars. I have no idea what the fuck this is supposed to be from Wizard of Oz, but I'm going to call it Millennium Falcon, so that's that. But then you got to look at things, what are we missing? Well, let's look at the Wizard of Oz. You got the Lion, the Tin Man, and the Scarecrow, as well as the Wicked Witch of the East, and there's the Wicked Witch of the West. Like, they're both technically there. I think you're just going to get Bad Witch, because I believe technically there's 2 Good Witches too. I don't know, fuck it. I have not paid attention to the Wizard of Oz enough to know this, but I believe there's the 4 witches, north, east, south, west, and the east, west are bad, north, south are good. I don't know, fuck it. I think we're going to get 1 Bad Witch card. I think it's going to be a Dark Attribute, which will make BLS even more live. I'm just moving it so it doesn't time out on me again. It might even be a tuner, in which case they'll push for Synchro, and you might get like a Synchro boss monster. I heard someone say like it'd be really cool if they got one that's like you need 1 Kozmo Psychic tuner and 1 like Kozmo machine light, something stupid like a machine and the Psychic, and you get like a cool like Farm Girl riding in Slip Rider or something to that effect. So that'd be pretty cool. But We'll see. I feel like it's definitely going to be more synchro-oriented. They all have different levels from what we've seen so far. I feel like that trend could continue. You might get, like, you know, the Tin Man is also level 3, or, like, you know, Scarecrow is also level 4, so you might be able to do more Exceed plays then. But as for right now, because everything's a different level, and they all specify a different level, like, 3 is 4 or higher, 5 is 4 or lower, 4 is 5 or higher, 7 is 6 or lower. Clearly, they're kind of trying to stay away from Exceed, I want to say. Like, they're not pushing same level monsters, so I'm going to go ahead and focus on the Synchro, which is why my build runs 3 Ghost Ogre and 3 Creebons. That might come down to 2 as time goes on. That might be a unique choice. I don't think I've seen too many other people playing Creebons as of yet. I could be wrong. Who knows? Other cards I could see going, Serene Psychic Witch might go with time just because you might find we get better cards for it. Right now, it's good at pulling out your farm girls, but you never know. Maybe Tin Man is the Serene Psychic Witch, but with Kozmo in the name, so that obviously just makes it live with your field spell, and that just, it adds more consistency and all that sort of thing, so that might go with time for something else. And the other thing that I've noted is Cyber Dragon. Cyber Dragon is a great tech for me right now, but I feel like Cyber Dragon is to Kozmo what Caius was to Burning Abyss in its early days. If you can remember that, they ran Rank Up Magic, Astral Force, and Caius, and they'd Tribute for Caius and Banish, and it was good. It was a solid deck. By no means was it bad, but you saw it get replaced because the actual Burning Abyss support did a better job at working together than Caius did in the deck, so you might see Cyber Dragon go. For the time being, it's a level 5 light machine that fits perfectly with almost everything else in the deck, except for its name isn't Kozmo, but its ability to special summon and let you normal farm girl works beautifully. The thing I did notice while playing this deck is that you could make Cyber Dragon Infinity. If it comes to the TCG, there were plenty of opportunities for me to do it. It was a very easy combo for Cyber Dragon Infinity. The only condition was you had to open with a Cyber Dragon and be able to special summon it, and any means of getting out Farm Girl, meaning, you know, 3 of your Farm Girl for normal summon, or even, like, E-Telly. So the chances of getting Farm Girl out on your first turn are pretty damn high. That's what the deck is about. But if you can summon Cyber Dragon and then Farm Girl, and use Farm Girl's effect to search for Slip Rider, or you maybe already have Slip Rider, do this right away. Like, the ideal play, in my opinion, would be, you know, summon Cyber Dragon, attack, you know, you don't get Mirror Force or any of that nonsense. Attack with Farm Girl, because you already summoned her too, obviously. Use her effect, search out Slip Rider, tag out Farm Girl for Slip Rider, attack for 23. Then you have 2 level 5 machines, which means you can overlay into Cyber Dragon Nova, which you can then go into Cyber Dragon Infinity with 2700, and then the ability to absorb stuff. So Cyber Dragon Infinity is technically playable in this deck naturally, and if that's the case, you might see Slip Rider staying at 3 plus some Cyber Dragons just to get this specific card out, which I'm gonna hate, but it's not bad. And actually, speaking of the big fat CDI, I didn't find too much trouble facing it, because the 2 things I've noted is you might see less Slip Rider and less Good Witch with more and more support, depending. But the thing is, I remember I was facing the Tellers against YGO Pro's AI just when I was like first testing the deck to make sure it could stand on its own 2 legs, and I'd have Forerunner out and they'd turbo into their fucking Cyber Dragon Infinity, and I'd be like, oh my god, I hate this card, why? And then the thing is, they can't target Forerunner, so I can't absorb it. So my turn comes and I'm like, sweet, I'm just gonna beat it down. And I gain 1,000 life points, and Cyber Dragon Infinity is like, well, you've got more attack points, so fuck your noise. And they destroy it, and I'm like, okay, fuck, what do I do? Well, Forerunner's effect activates in the graveyard. Cyber Dragon Infinity can't negate it, because I already used its effect. So I special summon Good Witch, and I'm like, oh my god, Cyber Dragon Infinity only has 1600 defense, and already used its effect, so it can't negate mine. So I book a Moon it, and I run down Cyber Dragon Infinity. So that was an easy out to that card. I was like, wow, that's the first time I have not, like, it's not a problem. I continued to duel it to try and force it to get out Cyber Dragon Infinity to see how I could deal with it. And it wasn't hard to do as long as you've got that Good Witch in the deck, which again isn't hard to do because the field spell, you can just shuffle it in there. So I'm liking the synergy this deck has with itself. In terms of other cards I've seen playing, because I've been trying to figure out what to do. Like I said, Serene Witch and Cyber Dragon are the ones that could go. Creebons might stay out. BLS might not come in at all. That might just be me. It's definitely viable, though. It's not that too hard to get out. Like, you know, 3 E-Telly and 3 Creebons for me. Like, I'm probably getting it. Plus your Psychic Witches, my profile explains it. But if we get Bad Witch, then we'll call it Bad Bitch, and BLS will probably be more live in that case, as well as maybe Chaos Sorcerers or something. In terms of text that I saw being run, actually, I guess I'll go over this first. If we get the level 6 and the level 8, you're going to be able to see more and more levels coming out. 8s will be easier to get out because the level 6 plus Creebons or the level 5 plus Ghost Ogre But if we get a level 8, as I feel we will, Star Eater will become a live card in this deck, which will be great. If we get a level 6, Creebons can make BLs. Just Creebons into level 6 will make that no problem. So you might see that type of thing going on, or you'll get access to Void Ogre or something, maybe, who knows. It'll be a good thing to have. I'm just going to quickly go over techs that I've seen people talking about or running. And actually, I should get a few of them out here first, shouldn't I? In terms of things that might come into the game more and more, Honest is something I'm seeing played in a lot of these decks. It's just a good card. It's solid. You know, drop it on a light. Everything is light except for Creebon, so it's good for getting your damage in with Farm Girl. Plus, you can search on either player's turn, so it's good. I don't blame anyone for running Honest. It's a solid card. Something I might run, personally, Draghetto. During either player's battle phase, special summon it, gain 1,000 life points, which mitigates that tiny bit of losses we're getting from Farm Girl and all the level 4 and lowers. Plus, you can make a monster gain 1,000 attack, namely Farm Girl, and then you can search with that and get over a problem monster or whatever. It also opens up, it's a level 4, so it opens up the rank 4 toolbox if you're playing with Good Witch. So that's another thing to note. I had these all played out already, but it timed out on me, so I had to restart the video. But Cola Serpent might not be bad. You've got so many lights in here that it's almost never dead in your hand. It's a dark monster, so it, again, BLS becomes live with these two cards, and they open up rank 4 spamming. So the rank 4 spam version of this deck could be real, in which case my build probably won't be as optimal, because why the fuck wouldn't you want to spam Exotonic Estelle and Honor Arc and all that stupid fucking nonsense? But that might come about. I'm definitely going to test that build, a rank 4 spam, instead of a synchro-focused build, so to say. I definitely would keep the 2 Ghost Ogres, because 1, I fucking paid for them and I'm using them, and 2, it's just a good thing to have. A level 3 synchro is never bad. But I could see Draghetto and Black Dragon Cola Serpent being very useful for rank 4 spamming. It all depends on how viable Good Witch is. And I mean, like I said, I don't want to force the deck to do something that is designed not to do, so we'll see how it works out. Other things I might want to note, I mean, definitely, I believe I mentioned, you've got access of 5 to 10 right now, and you'll get up to 11 in terms of your synchro deck, so there are so many plays you want to make. Things to consider for at least this build. There's plenty of level 3s with 2 Ghost Ogre, 3 Farm Girl, 2 Serene Witch. You know, I was thinking maybe I'll throw rank 3 in. I've got Zen mains here for argument's sake, but I don't want to run Dante. The deck doesn't like having things in the graveyard, so I'm not going to force things into the graveyard. Yeah. Other things to note for I saw some people talking about Infected Bale's really good. I find Infected Bale only really works with Farm Girl. Is the ideal one. Obviously, Good Witch is a solid, you know, quick punch, and then obviously everyone's like, well, you can just tag out, so it's not even an issue for the effect. It's just attack directly. It's solid. I feel that it isn't as optimal, because if you get it without the Farm Girl or the Good Witch in hand, which I mean, like, wow, you're playing a bad hand there, but I think you know what I mean. Like, I feel like it doesn't quite do what I want it to do. I know people loved it in Glad Beasts. They might love it here. I could be wrong. I should test it out before I comment, but my gut judgment says it might not be as good, and again, particularly with later builds. I've seen people playing Generation Shift and Brain Hazard. Brain Hazard is like a Call of the Haunted from the Banished Zone for a Psychic type. Generation Shift, you pop a card and add one of the same name. If you can't see the combo there, pop Forerunner, add a Forerunner, use Forerunner's effect, special summon Farm Girl, attack directly, search another card, tag out for another Forerunner, attack with Forerunner. So 28, 15, 28, plus a search. Fantastic thing there. Thing is, it's a slow thing, and it has to be done. Like, you have to set it, and then on your next turn do it, so not as optimal for me. Might test it out, but personally, I have not. I like it in Fire Kings. I don't know if I like it here. Maybe Future Glow, I think someone was talking about. It's just banish one, because if it's in the grave, getting into the banish zone is nice, but then everything, like, if you banish a Farm Girl and then use your Kozmo Town to get it back, like, you'll be gaining 600 attack on all psychic monsters, so Kozmo Girl, or Farm Girl will be 21, and Good Witch will be 24, so it's not too bad. I don't feel it's that great. And then obviously limiter removal. If it destroyed them at like the battle phase, that'd be so beautiful. But it's the end phase, which obviously you can turn around because they'll special stuff, but that's something to take note of. I think I'm going to wrap it up. I want to keep this at 15 minutes, so let me know what you guys think about the Kozmo archetype and where it could go and what you might think we'll get. What tech choices you feel I should be running or you feel should be run. All that fun stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, follow. don't punch holes in your wall, and we'll see you next time on YGO Strats.